Well, it's football season, and because of that, there's a lot of rhetoric, a lot of talk out there. Usually goes like this. Getting close to the playoffs, we start to see a quarterback here or there fall. They start to go down, the downward spiral. And over time, you'll have people, when they hit a slump like that, the media, maybe your friends, others, will begin to talk about, wow, this guy has lost it. He's lost it. What happened? They'll blame everything, right? They'll blame a lot of things. They'll say, well, you know what? He's old, or he got hit, or he's got a different coach, or he maybe thinks he's all that now. He signed a big contract. But there's one thing that obviously pops up later on in the conversation, which is many times true, and that's simply this. You know what? He might be hurt. And many times we see over the course of a season, the player seems to go downhill, and then after the season, you find out, oh, wow, he had a torn meniscus. He had a torn ACL. And all of a sudden we step back and we go, oh, okay. Well, let's see what happens next year. Let's see what happens after he heals. So we first, we can't explain the behavior, so we attack it. We complain about it. And then at some point, someone's smart enough to say, I wonder if he's hurt. That's probably good advice. We many times we're in relationships where someone seems to have a certain type of character, personality. We seem to have a certain type of relationship. And then all of a sudden, they just start to hit a slump. They just don't, they're not the same person. There's something different. And we can do the same thing, right? We can complain. We can argue. We can accuse. But what if we did this first? What if we asked ourselves, are they hurt? Maybe they're hurt. Maybe they're acting differently because they're hurt. When you're in a relationship and someone starts to act completely different, it's probably not you, and that's maybe why you take it so personally. It's probably them. And by that, I don't mean you say, yeah, it's them, it's their problem. What I mean is it's probably them. What's going on inside? So here are things to ask yourself when you see a relationship go into a slump. Maybe they are hurt. You can ask questions like this. Is this an anniversary of trauma? Is something coming up where it's been an issue in their past, and now without even realizing it, kind of like PTSD, they're starting to act a certain way because it's getting close to their mom's death, or it's getting close to summer when their father or their neighbor abused them. Or a lot of times our psyche, our mind will categorize and put on a calendar these traumatic events, and it affects our behavior. Maybe that's what's happening in this relationship. Or maybe it's a season of stress. Do you think those that are married to accountants, come tax time, do you think they're the same person? My guess is probably not. Is it a season of stress? Next question you can ask is, has there been a breach in trust with this person? Maybe by you, but maybe by someone else, where it affects how they communicate because they're now second guessing, can I trust this person? Is this person going to be truthful with me? Are they going to talk behind my back? And again, it might not be you who broke the trust, but when somebody else does, it affects how you interact with those that are closest to you. Finally, is there a change in the routine? Meaning, is something in your daily habit or routine changed that might cause this person's behavior to change? And why you're second guessing it, I'll give you an example. There was a young couple and they got married, they're in college, and because of job changes, the husband going to school and having a job had to start coming home late at night, and he climbed into bed with his wife after she'd been asleep for a few hours, and it triggered some things, and she started to act different. In fact, she started to act very hateful and distrustful, and over time she realized that what she was reliving was the emotions she felt waking up in the morning after her stepbrother would come into her bedroom late at night after she fell asleep and would rape her. So some deep questions, but right away we stop and go, maybe they're not on a slump. Maybe they haven't changed. Maybe it's not them, but maybe it's something that hurt them. Worth the thought. worth the conversation. And remember, love is a choice.